Chapter 14 The Golden Eagle. As the bird came closer, they could see how massive it was. Its feathers were a shimmering gold, and its beak and talons flashed. As it swooped down, they all ducked, and Sarah jumped off Snugglewump. "Run!" Simon shouted, and they all started to move as fast as they could. The bird made one more dive, skimming over their heads, and then it landed in front of them as they came to a stop. Each of them looked around for an escape. Snugglewump growled. "Why are you running?" the bird asked. All three of them were speechless and had confused expressions on their faces. "Hello," it said again in a soft voice, like that of a child. "Why are you chasing us?" Sarah asked. "I wasn't chasing you. I was making sure you were all right," the bird replied, stretching and fluffing its wings. "Who are you?" Simon asked. "I'm Lily," the bird replied, its eyes a vivid yellow. "And what are you?" Kenny asked. "I'm one of you." "One of us?" Simon asked. "Oh, you don't know yet," Lily began. There was a dazzling sparkle of light, and Lily transformed into a girl with the same yellow eyes, about Simon's age. "I'm one of you," she repeated. "How?" Simon began to ask. "I've been coming to Nubaganda for years," she said. "There are lots of us here." "We haven't met anyone else yet," Simon replied. "How did you turn into the bird?" Sarah asked excitedly. "Everyone who comes here can do it," Lily replied. "Everyone has a special animal that they can turn into." "Really?" Sarah asked. "How?" "It's not something you can choose to do. It just happens." "I wonder what animal I'll be," Kenny thought out loud. "How about a worm?" Sarah teased. They all laughed. "So who are they?" Simon asked, pointing up to the other birds who were circling above. "Oh, they're not like us. They're real giant gem eagles. Well, as real as things can be in Nubaganda. After I went through the change, I eventually found them, and they have become my family here," Lily explained. Simon smiled at her. She seemed full of adventure. "Oh, I'm so hungry," Kenny said to Sarah. "Any idea of where we can find some food?" Simon asked Lily. "We've got all we need right here," she replied, lifting a red tote bag off of her shoulder. "How's that going to help?" Kenny asked suspiciously. "Think of what you want to eat and put your hand inside," Lily said, passing him the bag. "Grapes," Kenny said with a smile as he reached into the bag. He felt something in his hand and pulled out a huge bunch of grapes. "Wow!" he exclaimed before he started popping them into his mouth. "They're delicious," he said with a full mouth. "Thank you." "Now you try," Lily said, passing the bag to Sarah. Sarah smiled, reached her hand into the bag, and pulled out a huge slice of chocolate cake. "How does—" Simon began to ask, still amazed at how things worked in this strange world. "It's something I found on my travels. It's a magic bag of wonders that will provide you with whatever food or drink you truly desire," Lily explained. "Does it only do food?" Kenny asked, thinking of all the other things he could pull out of the bag. "Yes, only things you can eat or drink." They continued passing the bag around, pulling out their favourite foods. Sarah pulled out a huge piece of meat, which Snugglewump snuffled up within seconds. They pulled out fruit, cake, anything they could think of. They ate and ate until they had eaten their fill. "Thank you for that," Simon said as he sat on the ground. "Yes, I've got a big belly now," Sarah said, pushing out her stomach. They all laughed. "So where are you going?" Lily asked. "We're on a quest to find the Orbs," Simon said. He opened the satchel to show her the ruby orb. "We're on our way to the Arctic." "I've heard stories of these orbs," Lily said, "but I thought they were only stories." The evil beings have spread across the land. They have slowly been taking over, but some of us have been fighting back. She looked into the distant skies, where dark clouds were starting to gather. We had better get going. She nodded with her head to the clouds. Those clouds only mean trouble. What trouble? Kenny asked. We don't have time now, Lily said. I can get you to the Arctic. How? Simon asked. I can fly you there, she replied. But I can't take that. Snugglewump? Sarah said in disbelief, clinging to him. But he's too heavy, Lily said, gathering her things. Well, I'm staying, Sarah said firmly. Sarah, pleaded Simon. Stay, and who knows what might happen, said Lily, raising her eyebrows, indicating the worst. She wasn't used to having to worry about anyone but herself. We need to get going. Sarah wiped the tears away from her eyes. Oh, Snuggles, she said as she hugged him as firmly as she could. He seemed to sense that this was goodbye, and he snuggled into her. Now you have to go and hide, she said to his big droopy face. You have to stay safe. I'll come and find you. She kissed him on his wet nose, and his massive tongue licked her entire face. Lily transformed into the golden eagle and turned to the trio. Come on, it's time to go. Get on. They all climbed onto Lily's back and held on as best they could. With a few flaps of her wings, they were in the air. Sarah looked down and could see Snugglewump looking up at them with a sad expression. Then he bounded off, leaping through the grass, away from the approaching storm clouds.